For those people who follow my channel, this would come as no great surprise that when somebody who I don't particularly like says something right, I'm going to salute them. And today I wish to express a rare moment of agreement with Nigel Farage. I do so not as an endorsement of his broader political programme, which I don't like, but as a defence of a principle more sacred than any party allegiance, the right to speak freely without the shadow of state censorship. Farage is right. The Online Safety Act is a legislative overreach of troubling proportions. It's poorly conceived, constitutionally dangerous, and it will ultimately fail to achieve what it promises. The Online Safety Act claims to shield children from harmful content. Its intention is noble. The execution, however, is fatally flawed because it was developed by a series of nitwits who were simply placeholding in the Department of Digital Culture, Media and Sport while they were anticipating further promotion up the ministerial ladder. People like Oliver Dowden, Nadine Dorries, Matt Hancock, Lisa Nandy. The list is endless. 14, 15 people of increasingly diminished capacity and a lack of interest in the subject, no matter how much they make a noise. Age verification measures such as facial recognition and passport scans are easily circumvented with VPNs, which have surged in popularity since the law came into force. What we have created is not a barrier but a bureaucratic inconvenience, one that simply pushes children towards darker, unregulated corners of the web. And Farage is right to warn that the dark web, not TikTok or Instagram, is where the real harm lies, and this law ironically shepherds our young people towards it. More than that, I think to place yet more pressure on Ofcom, an organisation that doesn't work anyway, and that has been exposed by the absurdity of the laws about of the regulations about reality TV. It just cries out for comment and revolt, and this is one step too far. Zia Youssef, Farage's aide, called this act something that would make President Xi blush. The rhetoric is colourful, but the concern is real. The Act grants ministers the ability to influence what speech should be censored. Social media platforms under the threat of ruinous fines or criminal charges are forced to err on the side of over-censorship. And we're not simply removing pornography, we are removing nuance, satire, dissent, debate. As history teaches us, tyranny often enters the room dressed as a friend, cloaked in concern, wrapped in righteousness. The Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, insists the Act is not censoring anyone and that it merely protects children. Yet when President Trump joked about his site being censored, the worry was not dismissed. It was evaded. If the Act is so unthreatening, why are platforms like Reddit, Twitter, even suicide forums either geo-blocking the UK or facing enforcement? Starmer may be correct in his intention, but laws are not judged by intent alone. They are judged by outcome and abuse potential. And Farage is alarmingly one of the few major figures willing to call this out for what it is, a dangerous tool of suppression. Farage admitted his party doesn't yet have a perfect answer to child protection online. That honesty is refreshing because the current government doesn't either. What it has is a dangerously naive belief that code, algorithms and identification documents can do the work of parents, teachers and civil society. More than that, the identification documents and the process of identification has been outsourced to private companies. If the government really wants to protect children, it will have its own identification system, government-monitored, safe route. But even there, you issue a code, that code can soon fall into the hands of dodgy people. This is not a way forward. And as for photographing your face, uploading your passport, this is an opportunity for some of the most appalling data collection and crime that I think has been manufactured in this country ever. This is a parade of indignity and a parade of opportunity. and it is shocking. The law deputises Silicon Valley to British police speech, and worse, the law expects Silicon Valley to define what is right and what is wrong, and that's absurd. We should not underestimate the cultural consequences of this law. And already users are reporting changes to their feeds. Already platforms are defaulting to safe modes, not because they must, but because they fear punishment. Self-censorship is not a sign of safety, it's a symptom of repression. And this is precisely the fear that Farage has articulated, the erasure of genuine, difficult conversation, erased not at the ballot box or by the courts, but quietly, algorithmically, at the hands of nervous tech executives and government regulators. I'm no champion of the populist right. Farage's comments on migration at the same press conference were crude, unsupported and morally reprehensible. They were irresponsible. But the Online Safety Act, his instincts are sound. He sees what many centrists refuse to admit. The child protection can become a Trojan horse for a surveillance state. And he's right to draw the historical parallel. This is how authoritarianism begins, not with jackboots and loudspeakers, but with legislation that promises security and delivers silence. The state should invest in digital literacy education in schools, parental control tools made more easily accessible and publicly funded, funding for organisations like the Molly Rose Foundation to continue awareness campaigns, transparent, narrowly defined regulation for hosting illegal content, not vague mandates for harmful or offensive material. Free societies do not outlaw danger. They teach citizens how to live with it, responsibly, thoughtfully, and with resilience. The Online Safety Act is an inelegant, illiberal response to a real problem. In trying to protect children, it risks infantilizing us all. And Nigel Farage, for once, is not crying wolf. The wolf is already at the door. And its name is censorship, and it's time we said so plainly.